I didn't think because my best friend was talking to me about suicide meant that she was thinking about it or would actually do it. The truth is, over 80% of people who commit suicide talk to someone about it beforehand. It is important to take anyone who talks about suicide seriously and to try and get them help.
The rain is falling outside my window. I don't know.
People assume that because my parents are rich, I have no problems. Maybe I do have the expensive car, the brand name clothes, and am considered upper class, but judgment of me should lie deeper than these stereotypes. The thing is, whether we're rich or poor, everyone's got their own issues. Money doesn't guarantee immunity from suicide.
Carried away, I realize that life.
The truth is, suicide threats and attempts are serious, not something to be taken lightly. It's a big deal for me or anybody else to talk about committing suicide. It should be a red flag that something's not right, that I'm not okay. I needed to talk. I needed help, but you ignored me.
The universe makes choices.
The holidays are a happy time, usually when you spend with family and friends, sharing good times, memories. What happens here if alone? The darkness, sadness, depression kicks in. It's not uncommon for people to think that suicide rates would be high during this time. But the truth is, suicide rates stay pretty fairly even throughout the entire year, rising slightly during the early summer months. So you should always be on the lookout for suicide.
Live life while you can. Live life while you can.
After my mom committed suicide about a year ago, I thought that somehow her decision to take her own life would be mine as well. You know how they say you look like your mom, or you think just like her, or you have her same eyes. Maybe that thought would creep past my mind once the pain became too much. I knew her actions may have influenced my way of thinking at one time, but the truth is, someone else's decision does not determine mine.
People, well, that I made, they judge me by the clothes I wear.
The truth is, I'm just waiting, hoping that someone takes notice and talks to me. The signs are all right there. I'm afraid, and I'm alone, and I need a friend right now. Talking about it might be the only thing that saves me. How come no one wants to show me that they're concerned and that they care?
Have I said too much?
I realize now, suicide doesn't happen just from being mentally ill. Maybe the majority of people who have completed suicide could have been diagnosed with a mental disorder, but the vast majority of people with an illness don't even attempt suicide, let alone complete. Whenever anyone found out about me and my disorder, I wasn't me anymore. I became a label. The continuous isolation and condemnation made me feel like I wasn't a person anymore. I realize now, I never thought about suicide because I'm bipolar. I considered suicide because everyone else saw me as bipolar.
At least in the end anyway, yeah. Live life while you can.
Even though I was showing improvements after my first suicide attempt, I never completely stopped thinking about it. I still keep the gun under my pillow. Maybe I'll have enough energy to try again. 1 in 10 previous suicide survivors will eventually take their own lives. Just because someone survives a suicide does not mean that they are free from danger.
The fact of the matter is, I did have warning signs hinting at my intentions. My depressed mood and hopeless outlook were passive hints. But after mentioning suicide and withdrawing from my friends, the big red flags were apparently up. I was also looking into wills and giving my things away to try and tie up loose ends. No one could mistake my suicidal intentions.
The truth of the matter is, I am afraid of dying. Even though it can be painful, I'd rather live than to kill myself. I don't want to die, I just want an escape. No one understood. Everyone believed I had my mind set on killing myself. but the truth of the matter is, I don't.
I believed I could do it, take my life, and there would be no pain. I thought if I planned it out perfectly and executed it correctly, I could make my death painless. But then I realized, what about those I left behind? What about their pain? I used to buy into the picture-perfect images of suicide in movies and books, making suicide appear not only painless, but also a neat and clean way to go. The truth is, the real horrors of suicide cannot be depicted by images or conveyed through words. Now I know the truth. Suicide can never be painless.
I thought about suicide and didn't know who to turn to, so I called the Alachua County Crisis Center. The Crisis Center offered me suicide intervention counseling, and volunteers were there for me when I needed them. The Crisis Center is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and I know someone will answer the phone when I call. When I didn't live in Alachua County, I called 1-800-SUICIDE, the National Suicide Hotline. Like volunteers at the Alachua County Crisis Center, volunteers at the National Suicide Hotline were there for me when I needed them. All I really needed was someone to listen to what I had to say, and that's exactly what the volunteers did. They listened.